Welcome to Lord's, where after 4 eventful days, we can be pretty much certain, weather permitting of course, that the second test between England and India will have a winner on day 5. On the surface, looking at the pitch as it played in that final session, you'd have to say India favourites. But England need only 214, which means that if they can get one player batting through the day, they also have a good chance. I've got Isha Guha joining me. Isha, how do you think the balance is stacked right now? Is it 60-40 India or closer than that?
Definitely heading towards India more than England. I just think, yes, 214, but it's a day 5 pitch, and the fact that it's doing all sorts. The spinners are getting the ball to turn, the pace bowlers are getting the ball to bounce. Well, there's that uneven bounce that they can really try and utilise, and still there is some seam movement there as well. So the batsmen have a lot to contend with. Moeen Ali played up at Headingley and scored that fabulous 100 to try and save the game against Sri Lanka. He did, for the most part, he batted through the day, and then it was just a sorry end to the test when Jimmy Anderson got out. But certainly he's capable. Joe Root, he's a very mature player now, although he's still quite young in this test side. He's still got the capability to score big hundreds, and the guys coming in as well, I mean, they're quite attacking players, so in a situation where they have to save the game, they might struggle. That's why when they come in, maybe they will have to play their natural game and look to try and chase down this total, because otherwise they could find themselves in a really tough position, even just after lunch. I think they started the day really well, picked up those 2 wickets of Dhoni and then Stuart Binney quite quickly before the new ball, then got Vijay with the new ball, and then obviously they formed another massive partnership.
You spoke about attacking batsmen to come. Surely the blueprint has been set in a sense by the way Jadeja played today. He just came out and pretty much tried to hit everything out of the park. Yeah,
he was it was a swashbuckling innings, wasn't it? It was great to watch. And certainly he wasn't going to hang around, was he? I mean, we saw him at Trent Bridge and he pretty much played in a similar fashion. His one-day limited overs format of the game coming into play, that sort of part of his game, and I think he obviously took the attack to the bowlers, which unsettled them a little bit. We saw that the short ball was causing him a few problems, but actually I think England stuck to that plan for far too long. On a pitch where you need to try and attack the off stump, bring the spinner into play when he's going to go after the ball, try and bring the spinner on and ask him to really try and attack the spinner and maybe bring about a wicket that way. But I just felt that England maybe held on to the likes of Stuart Broad and James Anderson for a bit too long. They looked really tired out there today as well, and you could definitely see that in the lengths that they were bowling.
The other key player for India with the bat was Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who I think is the 3rd player after Ian Botham and Richard Hadley to have back-to-back performances of a 5 for 15 a test match. How impressed have you been with his batting? Forget his bowling.
Well, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? As a number 9, he doesn't look like a number 9, he looks like a top-order batter, and he just provides so much depth to this Indian batting lineup. But he's just a quality player, very classy, doesn't look fazed by any deliveries that are attacking the stumps. He just blocks it back with a lot of ease, and he's able to caress the ball through the offside, and he's able to handle the short ball as well. So the fact that he's been able to score so freely in the last couple of tests just shows what a quality player he is, and then he's able to back it up with his bowling. He's been such an X-factor player for India so far.
And finally, the captaincy issue, obviously, again, Cook today, he really did try hard, batted 93 balls. I think it's the closest he's got to playing 100 balls since Perth last December. But it is a huge concern. I mean, both Bell and Cook repeatedly failing this summer.
Yeah, that's right. And 2 senior players who England will be looking at to really get them out of trouble in situations like this. Cook's had a really bad string of performances lately, and a lot of people up in the media centre now are still writing their pieces for tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. But a lot of people calling for maybe him to resign as captain and just so he can focus purely on his batting, because it is a tremendous amount of pressure out there. I can imagine how hard it will be for him walking out onto that pitch and knowing that every decision he makes is under complete scrutiny. That's obviously what comes with captaincy. That's the responsibility that comes with captaincy. But it has been very tough for him. And yes, today in the second innings for England, he batted better than he has done this whole summer, really. He looked balanced. He was leaving outside the off stump. And then he unfortunately played at one. It was smart work by Ishant Sharma though to come around the wicket, because over the wicket Alistair Cook was finding it all too easy to just leave the ball. So as soon as he came round, he obviously tried to play at it, probably didn't need to, and snicked off. But yeah, he's under a tremendous amount of pressure, and yeah, certainly with Ian Bell as well, another guy who isn't really scoring too well. Okay, in the first innings he had that one that just popped up, and that was a little bit unlucky. Today he had one that bounced really low. You know, you still got to have faith in these guys because they've done it in the past for England. But yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens tomorrow.
What do you see happening tomorrow?
I personally feel that it will be a real miracle if England end up winning this. India have got, you know, the ball in their court significantly, and the fact that all their bowlers are creating problems. It's not just Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, it's not just Ishant Sharma in spells. Actually, all the time you've got someone coming at you. With Jadeja now with the turn in the wicket, Murali Vijay even is getting a bit of turn. You know, it's going to be very difficult for the England batsmen tomorrow unless rain plays a part.
Thanks a lot for joining us. That's it from day 4. You can hear what happens after the end of the play tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.